There, everybody. This is March 23rd. This is just gonna have a little quick tour of the grow room from last February. It's grown quite a bit. I have quite a bit of marigolds sitting there, as you can see. I have a friend of mine that insists that the marigolds help keep the deer out of his garden, so I give him 4 flats every year. Those there are my onions that had a problem with a fungus about a month and a half ago, and I pretty much resurrected them. They're pretty decent size, I guess. They'll be fine. Chitting some potatoes here, probably a month before those go out in the ground. Some more onions that almost got wiped out with that fungus, and I got some basil, purple and a Genovese basil. Peppers, doing alright. And just for the heck of it, I planted some carrots in January 6th just to see what would happen. I haven't even looked to see if there's any carrots yet. I kind of figured I'll put these outside, but so that's what's underneath this big standard of lights. And here's my grow table. I got some lettuce that's gonna go out in the insulated cold frame pretty soon. You gotta harden them off first. Different flowers, some zinnias and morning glories, wild flax. I think this is the wild flax. Not many came up, but yeah, whatever. And more morning glories and calendula. Moonflowers too I planted somewhere. Not here, but anyhow. Yeah, let's see. And this is what I do with how I do my sweet potatoes. I'll show you that later, but I pick them off of the sprouting potatoes and I stick them in water, and they're rooted up pretty good. So what I'll do now is set a pot, some potting mix in there, and start rooting those in some potting mix. It's a new project for me this year, making lactobacillus. My first attempt was terrible, but this one turned out perfect. It's got a nice curd on top. It's been a week, and when I'm done with this video, I'm going to harvest that. And I've never really showed my worm bins. Go through it briefly here. These are European night crawlers. I gave them some wheatgrass 3 days ago. It's still dying off. But the Europeans are a little larger than the red wigglers. They're doing fine. They're very low maintenance. And this bed here are red wigglers. And this is another one where I gave them some wheatgrass. They haven't really gotten into that yet. And this bed here is paper bedding. I'm going to do a side-by-side of the paper bedding as far as the nutrition and the microbial life between the paper and my other bin of rather natural bedding, which is this one here. A lot of worms in here. Yeah, this bed, this really needs to get separated out. This is pretty goofy with worms. And all these casts, this bin is ready to be sifted out. These are all worm castings. You can't see leaves in here anymore, and that's what I started this with shredded leaves. And these are volunteer, whatever. Probably, I don't know what I fed them, what this stuff grew from, but who knows, they'll eat it. And then my final worm bin here is a worm bin I never wish I had, but it's the Asian jumping worms, and I'm doing a little experiment. Let's see, 6 days ago, on one side I piled up a bunch of wet leaves to try to migrate the jumping worms to one side. And see, here's one of the little darlings there. They like going deeper. Yeah, there's quite a few over here actually. Might be easier to look on the side where I didn't put the leaves. Let's see how many worms are over here. Yeah, there's worms here too. But there weren't, yeah, they're over here too. But I think most of the worms are on that side. I'm gonna give it, yeah, these things, they baby jumping worm going there, little monsters. But anyhow, yeah, we'll see how that goes. And over here, peppers. These peppers here, I started January 6th or 7th, something like that. And these in February. I like the... No, these I started January 25th, and these I started like this first week of February. And then this, I have some more marigolds for me, and this is how I start my celery in a bin. I started it late, I didn't start it till March 1st, but I always grow the tango and a pink celery. These won't be ready to go out in the garden for another month, but they'll be fine. And this bin here is leaf mold that might have jumping worms in it. I brought it up 3 days ago, and I'll check it for any baby jumping worms in another week, see if there's any jumping worms in it, and just keep it off to the side. But see, this is just beautiful leaf mold. It is nice and fibril and really great stuff. Alright. And this was a new addition for me this year, was this wire rack. Down here I'm doing my experiment of peat versus leaf mold. And I might film this on Saturday. I'll give it 2 weeks. I planned these almost 2 weeks ago, 12 days ago. And everything's doing fine, you know. And I'll pull these plants out and pot up a few of the bigger ones to see what the roots look like. But this is a definite alternative to starting seeds other than using peat or cocoa coir. Then I got a bunch of plants here, cilantro, dill, more basil. Here's the whole thing of flowers. There's, oh, what the heck, calendula and pansies and a couple different daisies, some petunias. Another flat of thyme for any places that in my beds that need a little bit more thyme. And here's some more onions that I rescued from that fungus that I had. And they're doing fine. And then here was my first shot of using soil blocks. In the other bin I had them, and they tipped when I watered them. Some of them crumbled. But these others are doing okay. These are morning glories here. These are cardinal climbers. Then over here are some loofahs. And everything but one germinated. So, and that was a cardinal climber. Oh yeah, this is another. I just planted some 4 o'clocks today and some moonflowers that I pre-germinated. Got some broccoli here. I got some broccoli outside too, cold winter sowing. And here's another flat of tomatoes that I used just my leaf mold, and they're doing fine. And this is my little sweet potato factory here. These are the purple ones, and they actually did a lot better than the orange ones. but I didn't use a deep enough tray of potting mix, I think. So, and it's plenty of sweet potato slips, and just a few errant plants or some